I warmly welcome you to the hour of awakening and empowerment. We come your way every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Ghanaian time right here on Akwentupo Radio. And the purpose is very simple: to grow our souls together. Again, to know our purpose in life. Because according to the leader and founder of Experience Mission, Brother Tete, to live and not know who you are is a disaster. Do you want to be a disaster, or do you want to know your purpose in life? Make a date with us this and every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Ghanaian time. We have a lot of great tests and what I do to help us grow our schools together. That is why this month always make this program possible in order to help us grow our schools together. Because this is the reason for our life work. Today, the speaker is Sister Velma Enim. She celebrated her birthday yesterday. Was it yesterday or Sunday? Well, we found out from her. So we bless her. She has been a source of wisdom on the program. She has taught us so much, enabling us to learn more, to know why we are on earth, etc. So I'm sure you also like to know when her birthday was, how she celebrated it, and something little about her. So without wasting much time, let's link up with her. Good evening, madam.
Good evening.
Wow, your voice is very sweet.
Thank you.
So much fun. Hello?
Hello?
Great. So, welcome back.
Thank you.
We want to know who celebrates your birthday. Hello? When was your birthday? Well, we are trying to link up with her, and we are having some little technical issues. So this is Hour of Awakening and Empowerment. The topic for today is Put Your Trust in God, and the speaker is Sister Velma Enim. Hello, Velma.
Hello?
Great.
Hello?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Great. So I was asking that, when was your birthday?
It was yesterday.
Wow. Was there any special celebration?
Oh, yes. So I had my usual meditation in the morning, and then I had few friends and family also calling to wish me a happy birthday.
That's beautiful. Some of us forgot. We forgot to do the need. So on behalf of our Control Radio,
Okay.
Ethereum, and my wish you a belated birthday.
Thank you. Amen.
Over to you as you take us through the topic. Put your trust in God.
Okay. So I welcome you to Ethereum Mission, the Church for Spiritual Empowerment. Our vision is that of a unified world in which everyone is a catalyst that is activating and promoting the innate good in one another. Please join us to raise such a world. Imagine a world in which the good that I am is inviting the expression of the good that you are. And the good that you are is helping the good that I am to express. Thus, if I find some good in you, I work to promote it. And if you also find some good in me, you also help to promote it. That is the beautiful world you and I are here to create. So I welcome you to join us to create this beautiful world. Now to the topic for today. Our topic for today is put your trust in God. Put your trust in God. People tend to question who God is because of their ideology or how they perceive God to be. So they ask the question, who is God? The moment you ask the question, who is God, then it means that you are seeing or you perceive God to be a human being. But the question for us to ask is, what is God? What is God? So this makes you or opens you up to get to understand what God is. Now, some people say God is the darkness that was in the beginning. Some people say God is the Big Bang that happened in the beginning. People have various meanings as to who and as to what God is. But the Bible says that God is spirit, and if you want to worship him, you worship him in spirit and in truth. And then the Bible says that in the beginning, darkness was upon the face of the deep. So whatever was there in the beginning is God. So God is the darkness that was in the beginning, that creative darkness that was in the beginning, that all the mysteries of life unfolded from. If you can call it the Big Bang, you can call it creative darkness, you can call it the first energy of the world, but that pregnant or that creative beginning is what God is. And that is what is seeking to express or unfold as all of life. Now, often we forget that we have emerged from a creative, loving, intelligent universe. And we even forget that we have emerged from it, and then we have all its abilities and attributes within us. And we also forget that because we have come from this creative, love, intelligent universe, it is there to support us. It is there supporting us now as the sun. The sun always comes out to shine on us, to give us light with all its benefits. It comes out because of us. The earth is there stable because of us. The air is breathing us so that we can be alive. There is so much love in the universe. Even somebody calling you to even check up on you is an element of love. Even the sun coming out in the morning is an element of love. The air breathing you is an element of love. So we have come from it and we must trust it. We must trust it to guide us in life. Why? Because you have not brought yourself here. that which brought you here has a reason and a purpose for bringing you here. And God is so loving that God will not leave you here and not provide you with what you need to survive or to live in the world with. Or God will not bring you here to come and just suffer and go. God has given you the plans to provide you with food, to nourish your body. God has given you people around you to show you love, as to use as your stepping stones for your evolution. So there is a power beyond you. When you sleep, something wakes you up. Sometimes even your alarm clock cannot wake you up, but something wakes you up. That is the energy or the power beyond you that we choose to call God. And we must trust this power, because there are certain things beyond our control that this intelligent, loving, creative energy controls. Now, often when we are in life, when we are faced with life challenges or difficulties or trials, they bring us down. Some are able to rise. Some find it very difficult to rise depending on the intensity of the challenge. Sometimes too, we like to rely on ourselves in times of challenges, and this puts a lot of pressure on us, because there are certain things that we have done what we can do, but we still try to be in control. And then in so doing, we end up losing whatever we are trying to control, and it brings us so much pain, forgetting that there is a power beyond us that sometimes we need, or often we need to trust its process so that it guides us in life. We are here with our friends and our relatives, and so because of the relationship we have with these people, we begin to trust them. And sometimes we get disappointed because we tend to have expectations of the role of friends and family and relatives that we have in our life. Sometimes they are able to treat us the way we want them to treat us. But some other times, they are not able to treat us the way we want them to treat us. And we become so disappointed. We become so disappointed when they don't meet our expectations. In as much as we have some level of trust for our fellow human being, it could be our friend, it could be our relative, we must also understand that we all have our unique ways of expressing in life. And the way we express is as a result of our experiences, both past and present. So one might be reliable today, but for some strange reason or for some reason that you can't explain, they might not be reliable tomorrow. This is the reason why we must put our trust in God. We must put our trust in God. People can't always meet our expectations, and it will be difficult to understand that. So in as much as we would want or we would trust others, we should put our trust in God. Sometimes we cannot even meet our own expectations. We sometimes even get disappointed in ourselves when we do certain things or even say certain things. How much more the other person? It will be very difficult for you to always think that somebody can meet your expectation, be it a friend or a relative, or your boss or your subordinate. This is why we need to put our trust in God. That which brought us here is very reliable. The Son has never failed us before. So we need to put our trust in God. When I say put your trust in God, I mean you should live a life knowing that the hand of God is in every situation, whether pleasant or unpleasant. Live your life knowing that it is God and it can only be God. Live your life knowing that God wants the best for you. Live your life knowing that life goes ahead of you, providing all you need before you needed it. Scripture says in Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 to 6 that trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. Here the Bible is saying that in whatever situation that we find ourselves in, even when people get to disappoint you, even when you are in a very pleasant situation, trust God with all your heart. Know that it is God. Give the credit to God when you are in a pleasant situation. And when you are in an unpleasant situation, trust God with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Know that you cannot do it alone. The Spirit of God is in you and it is there to guide you. So do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge that there is a God, there is an energy, there is a power that is beyond you that is seeking to control that which is above you or beyond you. And God is ever ready to direct your path. Now, when we look at the story of Job in the Bible, Job was very faithful. He went through so many challenges. He lived in a land called Uz, and then he had many cattle, camels, and sheep. He had children. One day, all his cattle, camel, sheep were stolen, but he still had trusted in God, that it was for his good, that God was still with him. And then there was a storm, and then all his children died. Imagine, even when you know of a friend who has died or who has died, you begin to cry, and you are often in sorrow. You are in so much pain because of the loss. How much more your children? Imagine if you had children and then all of them die in a storm. Imagine the pain that you would go through. What kind of thoughts would you even entertain? But Job still had faith, and Job still trusted in God. He felt sad, but he still believed that God's hand was still in the situation. And he became very sick. Very, very sick. But even in the pain, in the sickness, he still trusted and knew that God was with him. And because he has put in his trust in God, what happened? God gave him another, he gave him children, brand new, beautiful children, and then he also regained or got more cattle, sheep, and camel. He got even twice the number of the cattle, sheep, and camel that he lost. So you can imagine the kind of faith or the kind of trust that Job had in God. And it was worth it because he saw the hand of God in the situation. He had what he lost, twice the number of what he lost. How many of us can have this kind of trust in God? It is not easy when you are going through an unpleasant situation. Sometimes it is very difficult for you to even identify the good in the situation. But today, I present to you a brand new life, letting you know that in every situation, whether pleasant or unpleasant, don't wait till the unpleasant situation comes. Even in the pleasant situation, acknowledge God that it is God. So that when the unpleasant situation comes, it would be a bit more easy. It would be easier for you to acknowledge that the hand of God is in your situation. When you also look at the story of Joseph, Joseph was sold by his brothers. Imagine you and you have a sister or you have a sibling and your sibling is selling you. How would you feel? Even when your friend says something evil or negative about you, how do you feel? You feel so betrayed, you feel so down. But Joseph was sold by his brothers and he became a slave in Potiphar's house. First of all, he was even thrown in a pit. But he said what? Man meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. How many of us can say this? That man meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. This is the kind of trust you need to have in God. That no matter the situation, God means it good for me. No matter what I am going through, God means it's good for me. Trusting God can be very difficult, especially in challenging times, as I've said. But when you look at these stories, when you are in a difficult situation, remember these stories and know that just as Joseph was able to say that, yes, God means it's good for me, God means it's good for him, God also means it's good for me. So that it puts you in a position where you are able to trust God. Know that life or God is working for something better than your expectations. You may be confused right now. You may be in a situation you feel has no end or has no solution. Sometimes you have done all that you have done all the possible things that have come to your mind, all the solutions that you have thought of. You've gone to so many places, asked of so many advice. People have told you so many solutions, but it's still not working. This is the time for you to know that the hand of God is in your situation, and leave it for the higher power above you, God which is above you, to handle whatever is bothering you, to handle whatever is above or beyond your control. Also know that there can be disappointments and betrayals, but through it all, God's hand is in your situation, and it is always seeking for your highest good. Life always seeks for your highest good. Sometimes life even surprises us. Sometimes you have thought of a solution, and then life even gives you a better solution than what you have even thought of. Sometimes you wish, let's say, a young lady who wants to get married, and then you have the kind of man that you want to marry in your mind. You have a mental picture of, or you have the attributes of the kind of man that you want. And then life gives you a pleasant surprise. You might even meet the person with all the attributes, with other attributes that you never even thought of. Life, this is a clear example of life giving you solutions beyond what you have even thought of. Or you are even looking for a job, and then you have your expected salary. And then you get a job, you have the expected salary, and you have even other benefits that you haven't thought of. If it hasn't happened in your life, it has happened to somebody, or you've heard a story similar to this. This shows that there is something beyond us that we need to trust. There is something beyond us that is seeking for our highest good. And we need to tune ourselves to this frequency, to this energy that is seeking for our highest good, and trust its process. Sometimes when we say things like this, it seems it's a very difficult thing, but it needs practice. Even the little things, even when you experience a little pain, let's say a simple pain like headache. Sometimes when you have headache, you find it very difficult to even think. And the headache can be so severe that you might even think that it will be difficult for you to recover, or you even think when you would recover. So in the simplest form of pain that you would experience, know that God means it good for you. God is seeking for your highest good, or life is seeking for your highest good. Now, we have tools here in Ethereal Mission that would anchor you or give you the necessary guidelines on how to be able to position yourself to put your trust in God. A very important tool, or an important tool here that we use, is Cosmic Divine Imperative. With Cosmic Divine Imperative, we have the contemplative stage and the declarative stage. So there are three things here for you to contemplate on, 3 statements, and then there's a declarative part. So you first state the first statement, which states that I did not bring myself here on earth. I cannot. Then the second statement, I cannot afford not to be here on earth. Then I cannot resist exiting here on earth. So you keep contemplating on these things till you feel that you have stepped into that magnificence, that you are cosmic divine imperative, meaning that you are the must happen, or you are the divine creation that must happen to life. Just as the sun is always shining, just as when it must rain, it rains, you are that magic, you are that magical creation that must happen to life. And you are happening, you are expressing here as you. So this is the contemplative stage. You keep stating this and contemplating on it. And then with the declarative stage, you state the first 2, which is I did not bring myself here. I cannot afford not to be here on earth. Therefore, I am cosmic divine imperative. So you keep doing this, that you did not bring yourself here. Once you state and you think about the fact that you did not bring yourself here, automatically you are connecting to that power that you are linked to, that divine power that we choose to call God that you are linked to. And this puts you in a situation of surrendering to this power to take charge of your life. And then the next step, which is I cannot afford not to be here on earth. Yes, you are the must happen that must happen to life. You are so important here on earth. You have been so good to somebody. You have been a channel of blessing to somebody. So yes, you cannot afford not to be here on earth. Therefore, you are cosmic divine imperative, meaning you are the must happen. You are the divine creation that must happen to life, and you are happening here and now. And then also, you need a spiritual institution to position you to understand or to embrace all the experiences, whether pleasant or unpleasant situations in life. Embrace it with love. See the good and the divine in it. So a spiritual institution like Ethereum Mission has so many activities going on. Sunday service, we have Wednesday crystal service, which is from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. A spiritual center like Ethereum Mission has so many activities in place that would always ground you in the knowing that there is a power beyond you that you need to connect to be able to embrace all the experiences, whether painful or whether pleasant or unpleasant situations that come your way. So you need a spiritual institution like Ethereum Mission, because day in, day out, there are so many experiences coming our way. Sometimes, even within a very short period, maybe just within a 1 week, so many things happen to you that you become so confused that why are things happening to me in a very short period? If you don't position yourself, or you don't put yourself in an environment or a nurturing environment, an environment that would be able to ferment your mind with progressive thoughts, with progressive statements or evolutionary statements, or with spiritual tools, evolutionary or spiritual tools that would enrich your mind to be able to embrace your down times in life. You can be very frustrated in life. So a spiritual center is very, very important. So I welcome you to visit us in Ethereum Mission, or we are always live on Facebook, Tuesday, Thursday up until 4 around this time. That's from 7 to 8. And then also on Sundays, we are live on Facebook as well, from 10:30 to 12 o'clock. You can listen to our sermons, our life enhancing sermons, so that you would be in a position to put your trust in God, even in your painful situations. When you put your trust in God, what happens? You realize that you are most of the time very calm in life, and you are free from fear, because you know that whatever happens to you happens for a reason, happens for a good reason. Whatever happens to you would definitely turn out for your good. And what happens when you also trust in God? Sometimes you would be a bit hurt, but you can let go of it easily, because you can easily come to the realization that God means every situation. God means the best for you in every situation. So you can easily let go when people step on your toes, even though sometimes you would be hurt, but you would find it a bit more easy, or you find it easier to let go and then know that it is for your highest good. And you would realize that you wouldn't take things very personal, because you know that there is a higher power in control. And whether the situation is good, whether it is bad, you know that God means it's good for you. Just as Joseph said, God means it's good for you. And you would also come to the realization that when it concerns you, only the best can happen to you. When you come to this realization that when it concerns you, only the best can happen to you, you would realize that you wouldn't have a reason to feel, to complain so much about what is not going on well in your life. Because you begin to see the goodness that can come out, the possible good that can come out of every situation that comes your way. So putting your trust in God is a way of freeing you from anxiety, from all the frustrations, from all the disappointments, from all the pains, for you to know that God means it's good for you. Thank you, and God bless you.
God bless you. That was splendid. Well explained. Well, to contribute to the program, you can send us your contributions or questions on Facebook if you are watching us live, or on our Skype at Coin24 Radio. You also have the opportunity to call now to ask your questions. If you're outside of the United Kingdom, you can get us on 00440 2081 448 180. I take it again. 00440 2081 448 180. And if you are outside, if you are within the US, you can as well get us on 001315 6364 If you are within the US, you can call us on 001315 6364 And our dear sister is ever ready to answer your questions for you. I have the feeling that she has really put her trust in God to be able to come out with these explanations, examples, and what have you, means that she has really put her trust in God. She has given us the benefits of putting your trust in God, and it is really amazing. God meant it for good. That is what I have learned from her this evening. And I'm sure you have also learned quite a lot of things. And you may have your questions. Feel free to send them now. So, Velma.
Yes.
Have you ever encountered a challenge that was overwhelming and it was difficult for you to just trust the process?
Yes, I have.
And if so, how did you go about, or how did you overcome it? Please,
Hello? No. The first part of the question.
Okay, so the second part is that if you would say, how did you come out victorious, or how did you deal with it?
So, as I said, because I'm an Ethereum and I am always here on Sunday to listen to the sermon, so I was so down, I felt very disappointed in something that happened. And when I came to church on Sunday, I knew that I have to put my trust in God, but it was very difficult for me. It was very, very difficult for me because sometimes you trust people and then you begin to have certain expectations. So that's why I got the part of the expectations from that. Sometimes we should give room for people not to meet certain expectations of ours, because they are also on their own unique, authentic journey. So that freed me. I came to church on Sunday, I was listening to the sermon, but I was thinking about what the sermon was saying, and then also thinking about what I was going through. And then it was like a revelation that people cannot meet your expectations all the time. So that was what freed me. That is why I was hammering on the fact that you need to be in a spiritual institution where the environment itself helps you to embrace certain situations and then process them to a joyful end. Okay, so that was how I was able to handle that.
This is amazing. I have this saying that human beings are dynamic. We change constantly. Every day, new cells are being born. Yes, and so is our behavior, etc.
Yes.
That is how I try to shield myself from being hurt.
Yes. Because even you yourself, you change. Sometimes you even do certain things and then you begin to think whether you are the one who actually did this. So you yourself, you surprise yourself sometimes. So why wouldn't you also give room for others to also know, or to also not to meet certain expectations of yours? I mean, some of the expectations are met sometimes, but other times, just know and accept it for a fact that people cannot always meet your expectations. And so in as much as you would want to trust others, put your trust in God. Know that whatever happens, God means it's good for you.
Certainly. But sometimes we even surprise ourselves. You do
Yeah.
something, you're like, wow, did I have the ability to do these things? I'm surprised. You even surprise yourself. Exactly. So of course, even if you cannot trust yourself or you have no control over certain things, you surprise yourself certain times. You should also, of course, know that others can equally surprise you. So let's acknowledge some of our viewers on Facebook. We have Elizabeth Ayi. Wow, Lizzie, this is my first time seeing you here. We hope you join us all the time. Welcome. We have Daniel Kogo, who has also been on the program before. We have Kofi Osman. We have Hamid Islam. So there are some questions. There's a question from Kofi Osman, and I quote, please, how long can one trust the process? It's not that one needs to be processed to trust the process. Please, did you hear the question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You said how long must you trust the process for? For as long as you are alive, because you are not here by yourself. And sometimes when you find it difficult to trust the process, we have what is called soul processing. So there are liberators here who would help you on the journey. There is something called card. Sometimes you have a card which is a mental picture of a pain that you have filed in your mind. So sometimes you need a trained liberator to help you through the process, to be able to dissolve the mental picture of pain that you have, so that you can be free to unfold your God abilities, or to connect to the higher power that is beyond you. So you could also come. We have the free soul processing sessions. That is third Saturdays of every month. You come to Ethereum Mission. You would meet a trained liberator who would help you or guide you to be able to free yourself from some mental pictures of pain that you may have. And then you can connect to the God within you. And for how long that you need to trust the process? For as long as you are alive, because you are not here by yourself. You are an employee of life to serve life. So if you do not trust life, or you do not trust God, what else do you want to trust? When it is time for you to exit your body, you would go. You wouldn't have control over that. It is just like when you have a stomach upset and then you have to visit the washroom. Until you go to the washroom, you can't be free. You can't stop yourself from not going to the washroom when you have a running tummy. So you should know that there is something in control. There is something at work. So for as long as you are alive and then you are an employee of life, you need to trust the process of life.
Beautiful. Go back to you. We have Gamali, Kofi Bediakon also watching. There are some comments. Hamid Islam, he says, learn on the guidance of the Holy Spirit each eternal now moment. Learn on the guidance of the Holy Spirit each moment. We have Miriam Odey. It says, well done, sis. That was a splendid delivery. God bless you. I'm certain she's pleased by the presentation. We have Hamid Islam also saying, thanks for sharing an inspiring message. My sis star. Wow. My sis star. That's beautiful. That's a new term someone has created. Okay, so in a nutshell, what do you leave with us? In a sentence or two?
Okay. So what I would leave with you is that know that that which brought you here is here working for your highest good. And whatever is happening to you, know that God means it's good for you. That's all. And then here in Ethereum Mission, I would like to share our location, the location of Ethereum Mission, so that you come join us to create a beautiful world of love, joy, and peace together. So Ethereum Mission in Ghana is located on the Generalankra Highway, next to the Gold Filling Station at Sakamanakra. The phone numbers are 0264 177 633 and 0548 177 633. They are also our WhatsApp numbers. So if you want to be on any of our platforms, you can contact us so that you can continue to receive our daily and weekly lessons. And if this work is beneficial to you, and you want to contribute to this spiritual work that nourishes your soul, you may send your contributions to the same mobile numbers. We appreciate your support. Also in Ghana, our Takrady branch is located on the Dave Street in the Energy Estates, and the telephone number is 0561 166 330. And if you are in Kumasi, you are welcome to fellowship with us at the Derba Court Hotel behind Dr. Bedu in Adiambra. And the contact number is 0561 166 331. If you are in the UK, we have a branch at 58 Gorringe Park Avenue in Misham, Surrey. The postcode is CR42DJ, and the telephone number is 028 646 6129 028 020 864 66129. So know that whatever situation you are in, God means it's good for you. Thank you and God bless you.
Yes, God bless you. We have some people just joining, and I would like to acknowledge them. We have Emma Intri Kwaji Afo. Auntie Emma, I'm very glad to meet you here. Make a date with us this and every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Ghanaian time. I know you are in the UK. I know you are doing well. I'll catch up with you. So we have Daniel Pogo. He says, no matter how difficult things are, or you may be going through, the things you may be going through, you must have the belief that there is a mass happening power in the universe that is always finding solutions to your problems. On that note, we will say a very big thank you to you for this teaching. Bye-bye.
Bye.